It's saying a equals b squared minus 1, and it tells me that b right there is a real number. And the question is saying which of the following cannot be the value of a. So a couple of things to keep in mind. Let's start with what a real number is. For our purposes, for the SAT's purposes, let's just stick with two definitions. There's two scenarios where you're going to have something that's not a real number. One is if you're dividing by 0, so if you have a 0 in the denominator. And two is if you have a negative under a square root. Okay, so keep those two in mind. And the question now is saying which of the following cannot be the value of a. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with answer choice A, 3. And we're just going to plug that in for the a. So 3 will equal b squared minus 1. Let's add 1 here. Let's add 1 here. B squared will equal 4. And b will equal plus or minus 2. And positive 2 or negative 2, they're both are real numbers. So an a works out. So let's go to answer choice B now. Answer choice B is saying let's put in 0 for a. So 0 equals b squared minus 1. Let's add 1. Let's add 1. 1 equals b squared. B will equal plus or minus 1. So those negative 1 or plus 1, they both are real numbers as well. So let's go to C now. C would be negative 1 equals b squared minus 1. Add 1 here, add 1 here. B squared equals 0, and b equals 0. And 0 is also a real number. So most likely the answer is D. Let's just check it out. B squared minus 1. Add 1, add 1. Now negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 equals b squared, and b would equal square root of negative 1. And what did we talk about before as far as real numbers go, is that I cannot have a negative in a square root, under a square root. And that's the scenario here. So that makes this not a real number.